Well, episode 6 was uneven. I think uneven good, but it was very uneven. It starts off, I think, with really too obvious and too crude a political point. Fine, the show is very political. It does get better. So the first third I thought was it's a little slow, but I was like, okay, this is intriguing. Definitely avoid the trailer because it is very misleading. I thought most of the episode was going to be at the mansion, but the mansion turned out to only take up really one third of the episode, so that was a little strange. The mansion is the best section. It's when most of the action happens, and some of the twists were kind of lame, but some of the twists were also kind of they're kind of interesting. I mean, what we got out of it was kind of obvious, like, oh, okay, this is the plan that Homelander has. And I'm like, yeah, it was a little too obvious. That said, it does lead to some really great payoffs at the end. There are some I do mean monster twists at the end, so please avoid spoilers because it will be very shocking. And yeah, the boys does not shy away from nudity or sex, but even I was like, whoa, that is that is really out there. I don't know to rate it R rated or X rated, but that was like okay. It was also a little bit like vomit inducing, but okay, I thought it would make sense with what happens with Homelander and someone else. We'll just leave it very vague. And also what happens with Billy. Fans have had theories. Turns out the fan theories were true, and I'm like, oh snap! I was like, whoa! I could not believe they did it. They actually did it. It had some pretty incredible conclusions. However, there were a few weak moments. The jokes this time were kind of a little too obvious, especially with Sage. Something happens with her, and they, I think, leaned in on too many bad, weak jokes. So I think that dragged down the mansion section. However, overall, still a very strong season, and they've definitely pushed the story now in some pretty extreme directions. So I'm going to be very fascinated how they deal with these twists and revelations. So I'm going to give episode 6 a very strong 8.25. It still had a few too many problems for me, but overall, yeah, this is still very excellent work. Where it is good, it is very good. Somebody said you have to see Gen 5 to understand this episode. No, you really don't. I think they did okay with explaining the mansion tech and his basic psychology. If you know enough about Batman, you're going to fill it in yourself. However, Gen 5 might help you a little bit, but it's not necessary. So you can see this without Gen 5. It might help you, but I saw it without Gen 5. I figured it out pretty well. Here we are. Another very good episode with The Boys, episode 6, season 4.